Hello, everybody. What the hell? Whoa. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Hello, everybody. I'm Dustin Benzel, and welcome to another Pokemon episode. I'm so sorry. I really don't know what happened there. Whoa, it's wow. I hope it's funny. I hope it's funny because I'm laughing right now. Anyway, welcome to another episode of my Pokemon discussion. Just a quick, if you remember, this episode is going to be about reflections of 5th generation and how horrible it was. Oh, God, it was so horrible. Now, anyway, so, let's do a quick, little, news thing for the anime. In the last episode, or, Pokemon XY that I saw that came out recently, I don't know when I'm going to upload this, so this might actually be uploaded near the time that Serena is doing that Skittle racing, or maybe even the Christmas. No, probably not that far back. Anyway, Froakie evolved into Frogadier. Ash's Froakie has evolved into Frogadier. Good job, Froakie, Frogadier. Good job, Ash, and stuff like that. Just a quick mini review of the episode. I liked it. It was okay, but it focused too much on Sanpei and his mission with Sanzo, dealing with the scroll and stuff like that. I don't speak Japanese, so I'm just hearing what other people have said and stuff like that. Team Rocket was kind of funny in the episode, that especially when Jesse kicked the cardboard cutouts of the group, Ash, Clement, Bonnie, Serena, and Senpai, and that was pretty funny because it exploded and it was like, oh, so Team Rocket gets to be the victims of Clement's quick hurried inventions failing and stuff like that. So it was pretty nice, but the thing is, one of the biggest criticisms that I have of the episode is that it didn't revolve around Froakie too much. It revolved solely more so on Senpai and his Greninja and Sanzo and the mission, and it was a little disappointing because Froakie really should have had that episode by himself. And some people have said that they didn't like Ash interfering, and I understand why Ash interfered and why it made sense because I guess the Sanzo teacher or whatever wanted Senpai to actually have friends and didn't want to have to do everything by himself. So maybe that was part of the reason why Ash interfered, but it kind of like rubbed me the wrong way that Ash was the primary focus in that last part of the episode where he used Froakie, Pikachu, and Senpai used Greninja, and it was just primarily about Ash versus Sanzo rather than Senpai doing anything like that. Which wouldn't be bad, but the thing is, the episode wasn't revolving around Ash or Froakie or even Pikachu, so that was a little disappointing. So, it was okay. It was pretty nice. I mean, it was really great. We saw Frogadier. That was really awesome. There were some nice moments, like if the translation or what people have said on the forums are correct, one of the best moments was Bonnie being all surprised about Frogadier and asking if it could devolve back into Froakie so it can watch it evolve into Frogadier, because yeah, I can understand why that would be the case. There are some Pokemon that have only evolved in front of Ash or their respective trainers, and so yeah, it is. I can understand Bonnie is a little upset that she didn't actually get to see Froakie evolving, because that was a pretty epic moment. It goes up there with when Ash's Monferno evolved into Infernape, how it was very dynamic, or even Chimchar into Monferno. Those had some pretty dynamic evolutions where they actually moved while they're evolving. If I'm not mistaken, when no, hold on. Maybe not Monferno, but Infernape. No, maybe not. Well, Monferno held it. No, anyway, you know what I mean. We don't need to be talking about this. Well, anyway, it was very dynamic because as Froakie was evolving, it like blocked Barbacle's attack and stuff like that. So that was really nice. it was an okay episode. It wasn't the best. They could have done a little bit better for Froakie specific evolutions. So let's move out of that because, like I said, this is really primarily supposed to be about reflections of the 5th generation. So let's go into the poster real quick that came out with the Pikachu short. There are some surprising things in there. For one thing, it looks like Jesse's Pumpkaboo is going to evolve. I had my doubts on that because one thing that I do not agree with is Team Rocket having evolved Pokemon unless those fully evolved Pokemon are small. Now, I know Yanmega is like 6 feet in the game, so but it wasn't exactly portrayed like that, and that's pretty much just lengthwise, not really height and stuff like that. But Gurgeist is actually pretty short. It's actually roughly smaller than Wobbuffet, unless it's in its super size, which is about 5 feet. So it actually makes sense. How Jesse's Pumpkaboo is going to evolve, or even if it actually is going to evolve, is completely up in the air. Because if you know your games of 6th generation, you know that Pumpkaboo as well as Phantup evolve through trait evolution. So that'll be interesting to see and stuff like that. It confirmed Luxray breaks in, and there were some interesting Pokemon in there. There was a Snorlax, there was a Florges, there was a Noibat, there was a Gothita. There was also Pikachu, Dedenne, and I think Meowth possibly, I'm not really sure, were sitting on a Avalugg. You didn't really see Avalugg, but you saw the back of Avalugg. So people are saying that maybe some of them are captures and stuff like that. That would be perfectly fine with me. Like I said before, I really would like Ash with Phantup because it really is the most adorable Pokemon. But, you know, before, when it came out, I did say that I wanted Ash with the Florges because Florges is just an amazing fairy type, and it really is my favorite fairy type. And it would be a suitable grass type replacement because Florges is more of a grass type Pokemon than a fairy type because of its 2 abilities that help grass type Pokemon. So it really is more of a grass type. So for a suitable replacement for grass type, Florges would be great, except the only problem is the Florges in the poster is red, and I would have preferred like something like blue or orange or something like that. But that's just me. I'm sure the writers or animators want to go with the typical coloring of Florges rather than any unique coloring, except in certain episodes. Okay, so I don't know about Noibat. Noibat would look good for Serena or even Clement, maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not really sure on if they're going to get any Pokemon right now. I mean, this will be in the movie and stuff like that. The one thing that is notable is because there is a Gurgeist and not a Pumpkaboo, and if Jesse's Pumpkaboo is going to evolve right around the time the movie does, whew! Ash's hypothetical Goomy is not going to last very long. There's like at least about approximately 25 episodes until the movie comes out approximately. Well, maybe like 26. I don't know. There will probably be breaks. There might be 1 hour specials. I don't know exactly the actual time schedule, but there's approximately 25 episodes. And as we all know, not all of those 25 episodes is going to be just about Goomy. There's like even a couple of episodes that we know that Goomy is not going to be a part of. Like we're guaranteeing that it's probably not going to be in the Vanillite episode, though that would be kind of cool. It's not going to be in the, well, actually it could be, maybe. But I don't see it being in like the Kalos debut, Serena with showcases aiming to be Kalos Queen and stuff like that. Whew. Okay, so yeah, there's a poster out there. It's for the Pikachu short. The reason why I don't think Goodra is on there is not only because it probably won't have much focus in this short, if it will, but I think it'll be predominantly featured in the main poster when that Pokemon Hoopa is actually officially revealed. Oh no! Is Nintendo gonna come after me? No. Well, what do you expect, Nintendo? People hack. That's a thing. I don't hack. I think I should be allowed to say Hoopa exists. You know, not officially, but you know what I mean. Okay. So anyway, let's actually move on to my reflection since this is longer than I wanted it to. Now, these reflections of these past generations, I'm going to say something good and something bad, and it'll depend on the series if it was primarily good or primarily bad and stuff like that. And 5th generation is one of those things that were primarily bad. There were some good moments in there. but it didn't seem like it was a good series. So let's jump into 5th gen reflections. Reflecting on 5th generation. Now, let's start off with a positive note. One thing that I really liked, even though the writers and the executive producers did not do it right, is they gave Ash a lot of Pokemon. Now, here's the thing. I understand there were a lot of complaints about Ash having so many Pokemon because a lot of them got screwed over, like Palpitoad, or even Swadloon before it evolved and stuff like that. And we sure as hell didn't see his Tranquil or Unpheasant as much as we probably should have, and they were kind of disappointing and stuff like that. But the thing is, I like Ash when he actually has a lot of choices to catch, because then it just means that he could potentially catch a Pokemon that I want Ash to catch. You know, sorry. I mean, he might catch Pokemon that might be a fan favorite or something. But that's what I meant. No, not just mean. I'm not trying to be selfish here. So yeah, it was really great that he caught all 3 starters. And then he caught Scraggy, caught P-Dove. Not in any particular order. He caught Swaddle. Well, he didn't catch Scraggy. He hatched Scraggy and then caught it. He caught Swaddle, he caught Palpitoad, he caught Roggenrola, he caught Krokorok, and but the horrible thing is his end team of his Unova team ended with Pikachu, P-Dove, Oshawott. No, not P-Dove. Yeah, P-Dove didn't evolve at all. What am I talking about? Pikachu, Unpheasant, Oshawott, Pignite, Snivy, Scraggy. Did I say Pignite? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Okay, Leavanny, Palpitoad, Boldore, and Crocodile. And that was quite a bit of options and everything like that, but the writers failed. I think the writers failed too much on that. I mean, for example, I'm going to bring this up again later in this episode, but the battle between Alessa. Sorry, I don't know how to really pronounce her name. It's the Elesa electric trainer, the female, the Alessa. You know who I'm talking about. Elisa. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. The thing is, the problem that I had with that battle is that, well, actually, let's not get into that right now, but Ash could have used Roggenrola, and that would have been great. That would have been perfect. It's just a shame that the moment that Roggenrola was actually used in a gym, it actually evolved in Boulder. Not that I had any problems with that, it's just, would have been nice to see Roggenrola in a little bit more battles, because Roggenrola was a pretty cool Pokemon, I'm not going to lie. Roggenrola was one of my favorites of Ash's Unova team, and stuff like that. It was just like cute little rock thing. It was a Pokemon you would not have expected Ash to get. It was really cool Pokemon, and it would have been cool to see Roggenrola fully evolve into Gigalith, because Trip had Conkeldurr. No, so, anyway, so it would have been nice to see Roggenrola. Now, like I said, the problem is they didn't do it right. I feel like I would have better skills in managing the Pokemon, I would add a little bit more battle tournaments and stuff like that where Ash would use some of the Pokemon he had. The problem with Palpitoad is that it was only used as a battle Pokemon. It did not get any personality focus whatsoever. And that was horribly disappointing because every other Pokemon did get some focus on their personality. Palpitoad only existed to battle, and that was one of those disappointing things because it's not like they treated Oshawott very well. And I want to get into that right now. Oshawott. What can I say about Oshawott? Oshawott was probably the worst choice to give Ash. I initially loved Oshawott. Oshawott was really cool. I prefer the Snivy line, but I really thought Oshawott was going to go somewhere. But the way that the writers treated Oshawott is that it just primarily was just about it being comedic relief. And I hated that so much, because that was an insult to the character of Oshawott. Oshawott wanted to be stronger. Oshawott wanted to get stronger. Oshawott wanted to be there for Ash, wanted to impress Ash, and stuff like that. And it failed miserably. Every time Oshawott chose itself to battle a Pokemon, it would always lose. And that really annoyed me so much, because all it was trying to do is trying to impress Ash, trying to be the brave Pokemon that Oshawott hasn't always been portrayed to, as it's been afraid of some Pokemon out there and stuff like that, like Duat. Um, when we saw Duat for the first time, it was a little afraid of Duat. It was like, oh no, I have to battle my evolved form. And then it just had Pikachu going out in front like that, and then everyone just like, oh, so Oshawott was trying to impress Ash, but the development failed for Oshawott. There was one episode that revolved around Stefan and his Blitzel and Oshawott losing its Scalchop, and that episode was supposed to be about development. Actually, the only real permanent development that Oshawott ever got was mastering Aqua Jet. If I'm not mistaken, that's what it's called. I think it's Aqua Jet. Yeah. Don't correct me. I'm right? Yeah, I'm right. Okay. So yeah, Oshawott, the only permanent development that Oshawott ever had was mastering Aqua Jet, and then sure, later on it learned Hydro Pump, but it's not like it really did much with that attack and stuff like that. So, but back to the Stefan episode with Blitzel and stuff like that. That was just plain horrible, because that was a great episode. That was the greatest episode ever, and I think it really showed off the development for Oshawott, and it seemed like Oshawott would have a great future because of that episode, but then it just failed miserably, because fast forward to the Declore Islands, or no, not the Declore Islands, not that far, but the In Saga, or the In Arc, or whatever, the In episodes, where In comes in. There was one episode that had the anime version of Charon, and Charon was starting up becoming a gym leader. I don't know what the in anime things like that, because it was, I don't know what gym badge he had, because Lenora had that, and Black 2 White 2, Charon took over Lenora's position as gym leader. So I don't know what happened in anime universe to explain Charon and stuff like that. There may be like 16 gym leaders that have the same badge, just Ash only ever runs into the game ones and stuff like that. Now, the horrible thing about the episode is, I understand that Charon had to win and stuff like that, maybe, but Ash didn't need to choose Oshawott, and here's why. What we get is slide back from all the development that Oshawott has ever had, and what happened was Oshawott lost because it lost its Scalchop, because it had to do what it did before when it lost its Scalchop. In that previous episode was Stefan. It freaked out, stopped worrying about the battle, and ran to the Scalchop to see if it was worried and stuff like that. And that's when I think it was Herdier. I think that's what Charon had at that particular point. He might have said a Stoutland, but I'm not really sure. I think it's primarily Herdier. So he took Herdier, and Herdier used Thunder Fang, and Oshawott got knocked out. And that really, really upset me, because that was right after the league. And Oshawott has not exactly been portrayed as a very strong Pokemon in comparison to everyone else. I think even Snivy was portrayed as even a stronger Pokemon, and Snivy didn't get very much. The great thing about Snivy was that it was a really nice female Pokemon. I mean, it was I guess a callback to Ash's Chikorita and Bayleaf and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was really nice to see Ash with another female Pokemon, and there was also P-Dove, stuff like that. So that was really nice, but the problem that I said before was that, yeah, Oshawott was just treated horribly and stuff like that, and it was very, very disappointing to see that actually happen, because I had high hopes for Oshawott. I really did. I was hoping that Oshawott would be the one to fully evolve, do what Froakie is doing right now, or Froakie has already done, have Ash with a Samurott. And the thing that annoyed me so much, by the end of the league, Ash may have caught all 3 starters, but only one of them evolved. And Ash actually had like 3 rivals that had fully evolved starter Pokemon. There was Bianca and her Emboar, there was Trip and his Superior, and then there was the failure of Cameron and his Samurott. And that was just a big, I felt like that was like the biggest insult of Ash ever. I don't know what the executive producers were thinking during 5th generation, but 5th generation hated Ash so much. Sure, they gave him a lot of Pokemon, more so than Iris or Cilan, but they really hated Ash during that entire series. Ash would only win certain battles that he was meant to win. He never actually beat any of the Dawn battles. He always lost. You know, he lost to Iris in the first one. He lost to the guy with Throw in the second one that went off, and lost to Stefan and his sock. And then in the third one, it was like the World Cup, Junior Cup. Although that wasn't really a Dawn battle tournament, but a World Cup, and Ash lost to Trip and stuff like that. And Ash didn't win anything except some minor things that may have happened. But like I said, Ash didn't do very well at all in the battles, and that was even reflected in the league. So let me roughly address the gems real quick. I had no problem with the first gym because it was nice seeing Ash battle Cilan, Chili, and Cress. You know, it was I had no problem with Pikachu losing to Panpour because, you know, it's not like Pikachu needs to beat everything. Because Pikachu is going to beat everything, then the writers need to stop using Pikachu. That's how it is. Either Pikachu loses a lot and Ash uses it a lot and maybe gets a couple of wins, or Pikachu beats everything, but isn't used as much. Writers, those are your only choices. No using a lot and beating a lot, because that would just be unfair. You know, and I liked how Tepig beat Pansear. The horrible thing is Chili became the joke of everyone since it kept losing, you know. Until he finally beat Oshawott. Yeah, Oshawott. Yeah, Chili beat Oshawott. Can you believe that? The same Oshawott that beat Cilan's Pansage. And Cilan is pretty much supposedly the strongest of his brothers. Yeah. Oshawott can beat Pansage, but lost to a Panzer. Just because Chili needed some good luck, self-esteem, since he kept losing and losing and losing. He really was the joke of the 3 brothers. Yeah. So let's go on to the next one, I believe, which was Lenore. That one was a okay battle, you know, at Oshawott and Tepig. You know, that was a little disappointing because he had Snivy and P-Dove at this particular point, and it probably would have been better to see that, but, you know, at least Tepig and Oshawott actually got new moves out of it. They each got new moves, which is really cool. I think Oshawott got Aqua Jet, and I think Tepig got Nitro Charge. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so then the third gym was with against Berg, I believe, and that one was an okay battle. I really liked Swaddle, how evolved into Swadloon. Shame that Tepig lost, but, you know, it was kind of understandable against Dwebble and stuff like that. And then Leave Annie. Now, the one thing that I will criticize about Berg is why the hell was Ash's Tranquil not used? You know, Pikachu could have just been taken, and I'm just thinking, well, you know, maybe the reason why Ash didn't use Tranquil is because he had a full team, but there was no reason why Ash couldn't put Scraggy to give to Juniper, because we have seen episodes where Ash didn't have Scraggy on his team, so I don't know why Scraggy couldn't have been replaced real quick with Tranquil if that was indeed the case, and then that way Ash could use Swaddle, or Swadloon, because it evolved during that episode, Tranquil, and Tepig. I don't know why Pikachu was used. The one thing that I hate about the Pokemon anime is that whenever Ash meets up with a Pokemon gym leader, and that gym leader is impressed by Ash's Pikachu, odds are Pikachu is going to be used in that battle, like 6th Gen and Grant and stuff like that. Anyway, moving on, the worst gym that I found, the worst gym ever. I mean, the gym battle with Roxy was pretty bad, but the worst gym was against Alessa. And it wasn't just because of the matchups. I was perfectly fine with matchups. What I had a problem was the complete disgrace to Ash's character. That gym was so out of character for Ash that it was ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. Ash would never rely solely on one Pokemon. He would always have backup Pokemon. He wouldn't leave Pokemon at the Pokemon Center or whatever, or with Professor Juniper, and then be like, "Oh, okay. Well, hold on a moment. The Pokemon that I need right now is somewhere else, so I'm gonna go exit the gym." And then come back with the Pokemon, and then afterwards, I'm gonna do a pout because poor Snivy, had to lose without doing anything. And so, oh no, Alessa has 2 Pokemon left, and I only can choose one. And the whole battle was crap. And one of the worst things is that the summary for that episode said that Ash was not going to use Pikachu because Ash wanted to use his other Pokemon. But what ended happen? Oh, Ash used Pikachu. And that really annoyed the heck out of me because the thing that it showed was that the writers didn't want Ash using his other Pokemon. They only wanted to use Pikachu, which is a reason why I dislike Ash's Pikachu so much. Ash's Pikachu sometimes has a great personality. Like those Team Rocket train episodes. That was one of the best episodes of Pikachu ever. And it was the greatest personality Pikachu. Those episodes were great, but when Pikachu is constantly used, when Pikachu throws an unnecessary fit for not being chosen just because it was an electric type gym, that's when you get a little ridiculous. So that really upset me because it just said that the writers or the executive producers didn't want Ash to use his other Pokemon and just wanted to just use Pikachu. And that's why I really, really hated that gym battle, because it was all a bunch of out of character for Ash. Ash was being completely stupid and moronic. The sad thing was Palpitoad actually was male. I wanted it to be female because it had a female voice, but suddenly it had to be male for whatever reason. It would have been nice to see a female Palpitoad, but whatever. Anyway, so that I hated that battle. Then we go on to Clay. Now that was pretty cool. Now, like I said before, Roggenrola did not get very many battles and stuff like that. So it was a little disappointing to see Roggenrola get kicked around by Excadrill before it evolved into Bulldor and stuff like that. But flashing back, that was a nice battle because Oshawott got to beat Krokorok, which is really cool because at this particular point, I was wondering if Oshawott was going to get any win. The very sad thing was Krokorok, as far as I'm aware, was the last win that Ash's Oshawott has ever had up until that Duat in that Decalore episode, or the episode in episodes, or whatever, one of those mini sagas or mini arcs and stuff like that. So yeah, that was really horrible because before that, Oshawott wasn't doing so good. I mean, like I said, Oshawott did beat Pansage. It did tie with Watchog. It did beat Trips Timber and stuff like that. But Oshawott really didn't do much. So it was really nice to see Ash's Oshawott really do really well against Krokorok, against Clay's Krokorok. So that was really cool. Snivy just killed Clay's Palpitoad. The thing that annoyed me was how Iris was like saying, "Oh no, that Palpitoad looks stronger and more tougher than Ash's Palpitoad," and that kind of annoyed me because, yeah. You're just gonna name drop Ash's Palpitoad, and we're probably not gonna see it for a long time. Yeah, we probably didn't. Let's see if I remember correctly. No, the next time we see Palpitoad is against Roxy. And I'll get into that probably if I haven't already gotten to that later. So the gym battle was okay. Against Skyla, that was an okay battle. I liked how Ash's Krokorok, it's actually funny that all of Clay's Pokemon ended up being on the Unova cast, with Iris having Excadrill and Ash having Palpitoad and Krokorok. That was kind of interesting to see. Anyway, the thing about that is, while Krokorok didn't get any wins, that was actually kind of nice. Although why it lost to Swoobat when Krokorok is technically super effective, I'm not really sure, but it was really nice because at least Ash's Tranquil got a win before evolving, although it used an illegal move that it can't move. So that was a little horrible writing in that one. Again, Pikachu was used because it's super effective, I guess, and stuff like that. So that was that. And then we have this really nice aerial battle between Tranquil / Unpheasant against Skyla's Swanna and stuff like that. So that was a really okay episode. Let's see. The next one is Bryce. Bryce was really cool. Really liked Bryce. Every Pokemon of Ash's got one. Scraggy beat a Vanilluxe, or no, it was a Vanillish, I think. Could have been a Vanilluxe. I can't quite remember. I think it was a Vanillish though. And Pignite beat a Cryogonal, and then Krokorok got to take out Beartic, which was really nice. I really like Krokorok and Crocodile. One of the things that I said in the beginning that if Ash was going to get a ground type, I would have preferred Drillbur and then have it evolve into Excadrill because Excadrill was ground steel. But at the same time, there was Sandile, Krokorok, and Crocodile, which was part dark, and Ash didn't have a dark type. So while I preferred um, Drillbur, I was kind of hoping that Ash would get Sandile or Krokorok and Crocodile and stuff like that, and that actually happened. So I really liked that Pokemon. It was, in my opinion, Crocodile is probably Ash's strongest 5th gen Pokemon. I'm not really sure where Pignite and Crocodile and Pignite come together, since they both probably could do very well against each other. Pignite is probably more super effective against Crocodile than Crocodile is of Pignite, so Pignite might have an advantage, but I do think Crocodile is actually the strongest 5th gen Pokemon. So anyway, it was really nice to see Krokorok actually beating Bryce's Beartic and stuff like that. So then we move on to the 8th gym with Roxy. Now, I won't say it was horribly bad, but it was kind of bad because if you replace Leavanny with Crocodile and add Scraggy and Roxy with another Pokemon, that would be the equivalent of all the Pokemon that ever win on the Univert League. So the thing was, Ash used all 6 of his Pokemon, and he used his power hitters. He used Boldore. He used Leavanny. He used Palpitoad. He didn't use Crocodile or Krokorok. I can't remember what Ash had at this particular moment, but yeah, I think he had Crocodile. No. He only had Krokorok. That's right. So at this particular moment, he used Pikachu. He used Pignite. He used Unpheasant. Leavanny. Pikachu, Pignite, Unpheasant, Leavanny, Boldore, Palpitoad. That's the 6 Pokemon that Ash had, and that battle was horrible because it was 6-on-3. Roxy only had 3 Pokemon. She had her Coughing, she had her Scolipede, and she had her Garbodor. Now, I liked how Leavanny beat Coughing, but I didn't like how Unpheasant and Boulder got totally reamed in the process, since you'll see why when we get to the league discussion and stuff like that. So yeah, the only ones that got any wins was Leavanny beat Coughing, Pignite beat Scolipede, and Pikachu beat Garbodor. Now that really kind of annoyed me. It would have been nice to see Palpitoad beating Garbodor, because Palpitoad at this particular point had not done anything very much. It only beat Burgundy's Stoutland and that one dude's Darumaka, and it beat Alessa's Zebstrike, and that was pretty much. And so that was very, very disappointing to see that Palpitoad really did not do very much. The thing about before that is at least Leavanny at least got Coughing, and there was another later on where I believe Boldore actually beat a Reuniculus, I believe. I think that was for the Junior Cup battle, before the league, with Trip and Alder and Cynthia was there and stuff like that. Let's see, I think Lee Vanny beat a Carablast and Boldor beat a Reniculus and stuff like that, I believe. So there was that to make up and stuff like that. So then let's cycle on to the league. Now, let me jump into it right now. I think Cameron was the worst inclusion that Univent ever had to offer. Because for one thing, Ash already had plenty of rivals at this point. There was Stefan, there was Bianca, and there was Trip. The thing about Trip was supposed to be Ash's primary rival, and, well, the thing is, Trip got horribly screwed over, the rivalry ended with Pikachu versus Superior, 1-on-1 in a preliminary round of the league, which was horrible, by the way. And like I said, Cameron was a horrible inclusion, especially when you add Virgil into it. Especially when you add Virgil into the mix. And Virgil was that evolution trainer. He had Eevee, Espeon, Umbreon, Jolteon. He had all the evolutions at this point except Sylveon. And the thing that really annoyed me was that they were just adding all of these characters for the league. I don't mind that. The one thing about 5th gen that I do like is the continuity. There were, if you remember, there were a lot of people that did those Dawn Battle tournaments that actually ended up in the league and stuff like that. In fact, I think some of the Junior Cup members actually entered the league as well and stuff like that. So that was very interesting to see and everything like that. But like I said, Cameron was the worst inclusion. Cameron was the worst trainer ever, worst rival. I mean, well, not I mean, what I've always said, well, this isn't really important. I'll get into it later, but the battle with Richie in the Indigo League was really awful. But the thing with Cameron was it was just so bull. So let's get into the league. The only battle that I enjoyed the most was Ash versus Stefan. That was the best league battle. The sad thing is, Ash only had 4 battles, technically. He had his battle with Trip, which was a 1-on-1. Then he had a battle with some random player where his Scraggy beat Daramaka. And that was horrible because the whole episode revolved around Axu being lost. Then there was Ash versus Stefan. Then we were forced to watch Bianca losing to Cameron for no particular reason. And then we had Ash versus Cameron, and then followed up was a quick loss of Cameron losing to Virgil. And what did Ash end up getting? He ended up getting top 8, as opposed to the Sinnoh League where he actually got top 4. And that really was the most horrible thing that I ever saw, and that was because Cameron was the worst trainer ever. He really was. I did not like Cameron at all. Cameron was just so stupid that the only reason he could win a battle was because of his Pokemon's own brute strength. He would tell his Pokemon to use Razor Shell, or he would tell a Samurott to use Razor Shell, and because Samurott has a power level over 9,000, that's the only reason why Samurott could ever beat anything. And then they did the stupidest thing. They gave Cameron a Hydreigon, or however you pronounce it, the final evolution of Dino, Zweilous, and Hydreigon and stuff like that. That's what happened. And you know what happened? What happened was Boldor lost quickly, so did Oshawott. It took Pignite to beat the Hydreigon, and then what happened was Pignite beat Ferrothorn or something like that. Ferrothorn. Samurott beat Pignite. Pikachu went in there, knocked Samurott out. Then Pikachu beat Swanna. Then Pikachu was recalled, and then it was Unpheasant versus Riolu, Snivy versus Riolu until it evolved into Lucario. Then Lucario knocked Snivy up for a loop, and then what further happened was, oh, that's right, when it was Pikachu versus Lucario, Lucario won. Did you notice there was something there? That's right. It was supposed to be a full battle because Ash used 6 Pokemon, but But because Cameron was so stupid, he only brought 5 Pokemon into the battle. And what happened? Ash still lost. Ash used his full team and still lost to Cameron. And that was horrible. The only reason why I hated the battle with Richie is because that was not a battle. But at least Cameron was actually a battle. The problem is it was just so stupid that it was so set against Ash that it was really evident at that particular point that the writers did not care about Ash, and Ash lost. The league was so horribly written that it was like it has to be the worst league ever. You know, the only thing bad about the Indigo League was how Ash lost to Richie. Every other battle was great. And the only thing we get out of the Unova League is technically, you know, oh man, it's already 40 minutes. I'm going to stop this here, real quick. I'm going to make this into 2 parts and stuff like that. So I'm going to stop this here and stuff like that. See you in the next video. I'm going to discuss the Cameron battle a little bit more. Why I didn't like the Ash versus Trip finale. And I'll finish up with the series. So the next episode of Reflections will probably be really short. But like I said, it's already like 40 minutes and I didn't want to get too long. So thank you for watching this Pokemon Reflections. If you have any comments, put it in the comment section below. Tell me what you thought of the 5th generation of what I've already discussed. Wait for the rest of the 5th generation when I get to the next part. So thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Thank you.